Greetings, coaches. You're listening to the All Access Coaching Podcast powered by the Glazier Drive. My name is Stewart, and I created All Access Coaching with the vision of coaches helping coaches, which is why I partner with the folks at Glazier, because we share the same vision, which is focused on one thing, making you a better coach. This is hosted by allaccesscoaching.com. I want to take a minute to introduce you to our sponsor for today's episode, Rack Coach. Rack Coach gives coaches an easy-to-use online tool for creating, customizing, and efficiently tracking your strength and conditioning program. Their audio-visual timers drive weight room efficiency and tempo, which kind of ties into today's talks because Coach is going to talk about saving time and efficiency in practice. Well, Rack Coach does the same thing in the weight room and empowers you as a coach to have more time to focus on teaching and motivating. Visit them today at rackcoach.com. Today's podcast, we're really excited to have Coach Rich Erdelyi on the podcast. Coach Erdelyi was on the Carnegie Mellon staff running lots of variations of Wingt for 29 years. Prior to that, he was 15 years at the high school level, 7 as a head coach, and he had the honor and distinction of actually coaching Dan Marino as his high school quarterback there in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area. Coach also spent 1 year in the USFL. For those of you coaches out there who are still old enough to remember the USFL with the Herschel Walker signing and Doug Flutie and all that stuff. So Coach spent a year there with the Maulers. While at Carnegie Mellon, Coach set a lot of records, including the school record for most points in a season at 37 points a game, and he ranked 10th in the NCAA Division III scoring offense. During the Carnegie Mellon playoff run in 2006, the offense finished 8th nationally in rushing with 260 yards a game, and they set a school record with over 3,000 yards rushing. Coach grew up in New Jersey as a 3-sport athlete, and we're really honored and pleasure to have him. I've kind of got chills. When I was cutting my teeth as a new head coach way back in 1998, I heard Coach speak at a Glazier clinic. If he's ever on the Glazier circuit, I make sure I go over and listen to him. He's very entertaining and very knowledgeable, and he's always very out-of-the-box Wingt. So, when you first start off, you're under center and you're following Tubby Raymond's book is the Bible. Then you find guys like Rich Erdelyi and the late, great Bruce Cobley, rest in peace. And they really got the Wingt community, in my opinion, thinking out of the box. Coach, like I said, it's just an honor. Like I said, I heard you talking in 1998. Maybe
you said 1998, Rick. I got socks older than 1998. I'm glad you heard me in 1998. I'm still here.
So, Coach, why don't you give us a quick history of your relationship with Glazier? How'd that start? Because, you've been on the Glazier circuit, gosh, probably as long as I've been coaching.
I started going to Glazier clinics, I'm going to say, 38 years ago, maybe longer. I don't know, forever. I was going to Glazier clinics. And then someone heard me speak at another clinic and told Bruce Cobley about me. And Bruce and I became friends, and he told Frank about me. And then that was probably 28 or 29 years ago when I started speaking on the Glazier clinics, and I haven't missed a year. So even last year when we didn't have clinics, I did my Glazier Drive segment for them and have 22 presentations on the Glazier Drive. And actually I'm doing 4 more right now, which are going to be, I think, really, really good for young coaches, because it's going to be the nuts and bolts of individual technique. And I've got the wide receiver one done. I'm working on the running back one. And one I'm really excited about, Rick, and I think you'll agree this one will be terrific. I have I'm going to do a segment on quarterback steps, and it will be every step by step for every play that we run. So
awesome.
I don't think anyone's ever done that before. And my former running back coach, Jeff Simmons, who played quarterback in the Wingt for his grandfather, the great Chuck Klausing at Kiski Prep. Jeff was my demonstrator, because I'm too old to demonstrate anymore very well. I could do it, but I'm not as good as Jeff. And so we did it at Carnegie Mellon, and I think it's going to be terrific for young coaches. This will be like a Bible for them, I think. I really do.
Coach, yes. I know mine is not as good as yours, but when I made the transition from under center to pistol and I was on the Glazier circuit, back then, John Chris was assigning us, the famous comedian now. We were, people kept asking me about the footwork, especially new coaches. And, what was the footwork from under center and how was it different from pistol? So I did one same thing. I was too old to demonstrate. I got my son out there. He was playing quarterback for me at the time when he was back in high school. And I agree, Coach, just bird dogging those steps, because in the wing tee, whether it's shotgun, pistol, or under center, the mesh points and the timing of that footwork is so precise. And when it's really taught right and a coach pays attention to detail to all that quarterback footwork, it's really hard to find the ball. The video I made with my son is on my website, allaccesscoaching.com. So it sounds like the coaches can have some great resources if they want to see the legend like you, they can go to the Glazier Drive and see the quarterback video. And then I've got the one with my son that's on allaccesscoaching.com. Coach, this talk is on RPOs, right? And RPOs is kind of taken over the country, and everyone thinks that it's new. But Coach, I already know the answer. I can only imagine that you were probably running RPOs way before anybody was calling them RPOs.
Well, we've always run belly keep pass and counter boot and power keep pass. And these are all, technically runner pass options for the quarterback. We got the quarterback on the flank, and that was such a great part of it. This is a flank attack. The attack starts at the outside. That's where it starts. And I always tell people, just think about it. When you look from the tight end out, you've got 15 or 20 yards. That's the biggest hole on the field. If you're running trap and you get a 1 yard hole, boy, you're thrilled. If you get a 2 yard hole off tackle, you say, wow, boy, we did a great job. Well, it's a flank attack and everything comes off of that. Well, we were attacking the flank with the quarterback. Technically, I guess it wasn't what they're doing today with the RPOs, but I started with what they're calling RPOs today about 2008, where we started with a play at the flank and a play at the other flank. And depending on what defense we saw, it all fit in. If you look at our attack, Rick, it's we are a jet sweep, buck sweep, belly slide team with play action passing and a quick passing game. 1 step, 3 step drop. In the gun, it's 1 step. Under center, it's 3 step. And we also have a 1 step game under center. But that's who we are. That's who we were at Carnegie Mellon. And then, I started doing this. It just made sense to me. And people say, geez, you're running RPOs. I said, what are RPOs? They said, run pass options. I said, gee, I thought we were doing that forever. They said, no, not the way everybody's doing it now. So, I started with what they're doing now, probably about 2007 or 8. And it was a big change for me because I had been doing it my way for so many years. And now the quarterback's in charge. You're giving up your autonomy to the quarterback, and you better coach that kid up, and you better really have him, and he's got to be an unselfish kid. I think, you're doing all this stuff too. And they really have to understand the nuts and bolts of the offense.
Well, hey, Coach, I think these coaches are probably tired of looking at our ugly mugs, especially mine. Why don't you go and share your screen? Let's get started, coaches. This is going to be the RPOs and the hybrid wing tee offense. He'll be featuring both under center and shotgun. You guys are in for a treat. You've got a lot of wing tee experience. I think over 45 years of you teaching this to you. So, Coach, I'm still in the background. I'm going to hide my ugly mud, and it's all yours.
Okay. Well, we want to talk about the RPOs under center and shotgun, and why RPOs? Well, we use it both under center and in the gun, but the mesh points remain the same. And I think this is so important. For example, buck sweep, it's 4 yards behind the center. Whether we're in the gun or we're under center, that's where the mesh point's going to occur. For belly slide, it's going to be 4 yards in the B gap. So it's going to be the same. Now, as I alluded to before, you must be willing to give up control. The quarterback is in charge. And again, when I decided to do this, I was like 58 or 59 years old, and I'd been doing it my way for 38 or 39 years. I was calling everything and controlling everything. And now you gotta coach this quarterback up because he's in charge. You're giving up your autonomy. we can take advantage of and possibly dictate defensive alignments and adjustments. And I think you'll see what we can do with that here. It can give you a play at both flanks or an internal and external play at the same on the same side of the ball. Now, this next point is important, and Rick, I'd like to just talk about this for a second. The quarterback must get the laces on the snap because these are catch and throws. So this is kind of how I taught the center to snap the ball. If the quarterback is right-handed, we turn the laces to the right, and you'll see the center's hand is at the top half of the ball. If he's left-handed, we're going to turn the laces to the left. And now, as we line up to snap the football, you're gonna kind of see how he takes his stance, and that would be our stance. And we're going to push the ball back and snap the ball back, and it is a dead snap. We don't want him to flip his hand over at all. So I'm doing it here in the gym, and a quarterback who's me, and my center is going to start laughing. But you see a flat dead snap, waist high, and I have the laces in my hand every time. We're kind of laughing because he's the worst snapper I ever had. And he hits me right in the hands every time. I said, hell, I should have put a camera on you. I would have had less agita in my life. But I think,
hey, Coach, let's back up a second. Some of these coaches are listening in their car on a podcast. They're in the weight room working out and stuff. So that you want that ball to be a dead ball snap, basically a knuckleball, no spin. And you want it to hit his hands. The laces are not on his fingertips when he catches the ball. You want the laces.
They're going to be in his fingertips, absolutely, but they're going to be in his hand. They're going to be in his hand. So as he catches the ball, he's going to have the laces so he can catch it and throw it, because that's what this all is. It's a catch and throw.
And then
I think this is so important. And again, this is on the Glazier Drive, so this is all on there. And I think this is a main point of all of this. If you can't catch and throw it, you can't run an RPO. Unless Ball State had that quarterback a bunch of years ago. His hands were humongous, so it didn't matter if he had the laces or not. He could still catch and throw it. But this to me is an important facet of this part of our attack, because when you're under center and you snap the ball, you can make sure that the ball, the laces hit the quarterback in the hands. When you're under center, you can do that. But in the gun, it's not quite so easy if you don't snap it this way. If you snap it and there's a spiral on the ball, sometimes you get the laces, sometimes you don't get the laces. So, but to me, that is a key to running this RPO in the gun. So, and
then for the podcast listeners, the point you made about the center with his arms, with his wrist and elbow, you were talking about something about the way the center snaps it?
Yes, he's going to have his hand on the top of the ball. The ball is going to be on the point, and then as he pushes it back, it's a dead snap. You don't want to flip your wrist, because if you flip your wrist, the ball's going to go end over end. We want it to be a dead snap. So I think it's the most efficient way, and I look at so many pro teams are doing it now, and a lot of college teams are doing this now. I started doing this in about 2004 or 5 when we were in the gun. And actually, my running back coach at the time was Bo Ruffner, who showed me this technique. And Bo was a very successful coach at Mount Pleasant after he left Carnegie Mellon. But this was I think it's the most efficient way to snap the ball, so that you're going to get the laces and be able to catch it and throw it.
Coach, I feel validated, because when we went to the pistol, what you described, that's exactly how we do when we went from under center to pistol wing T. It's a dead ball knuckle snap. We're trying to make the laces land, if he's a right-handed quarterback, in his right fingers. And we always tell our center, don't snap your wrist, don't snap your elbow. Just make your arm stiff and just let go around your calves and knuckleball that thing in. So I feel a lot better being validated by a coach with your experience. So we do the same thing in our pistol wing T.
That's great. And I know the high school where I'm at in Florida here, they're doing it now, and I see other schools down here that are coming to our school are doing it. So it's I think, again, it's the most efficient way to do it. Now, what I'm going to talk about here are gun RPOs. I'm going to talk about buck sweep, twins gun, buck sweep, and trips gun, buck sweep. They're a little bit different. And then twins gun, belly slide, and then a slide bubble go, which is not an RPO, but it's an answer. And these are things I'm also going to give you answers when the defense creates something that causes you a problem. Our under center RPO is what I call friends formation, which is a trips formation. And, you know, it's a trips formation under center for in what we're doing here. We're not a zone team. Okay. So with a one back set, if you were inside zone or outside zone, then it's valid. But we needed some run plays where we could run the ball while we were in these more or less passing formations. So this is what we've come up with. And I'd like to go through all of these and hopefully, you know, we'll have some fun with it. This is twins gun, buck sweep, bubble. Now, for us, it's buck sweep. As I said, buck sweep is a basis for our attack. Buck sweep, jet sweep, belly slide. That's our runs. That's who we were. And everything came off of that. So this is a typical wing T formation. You got two backs in the backfield. You got a tight end wing, and we have twins out to the left. So for us, it's buck sweep. It's something that our kids are taught the first day they come to Carnegie Mellon. Okay, it's going in the first or second day of practice. And again, on the Glazier Drive, I have practice plans on there, and I explain them. And I have game plans and explain how we got to those game plans. So I think it's kind of all there for you. Well, here for buck sweep, we're going to have the wing is going to block down on the first free man inside. His aim point is for the inside foot of the tight end. Now, our alignment, we're going to be back off the ball as far as we legally can be with our helmet along the waist of the center. We're in a 2-point stance when we're in the gun. We've alternated 2-point stance, 3-point stance. We've done both. And my last couple of years, my line coach and the kids felt more comfortable in a 2-point stance. I said, hey, you guys are the ones that have to do it. So that's where they were most comfortable, and that's what we did. So for us, it's just buck sweep for everybody, tight end and right tackle here, gap down backer. And again, I'll have all the rules here for you. So I know the podcast people can't see the rules, so I'm going to go over them for you. But it's tight end, gap down backer, right tackles, gap down backer, right guard is going to pull what I call kick out with depth at 135 because he must get around that wing back's down block. So he's got to get depth on his first 2 steps. The center's reach area away, backside guard's going to pull flat and wall off. The left tackle. Now this is a little bit different than what a lot of people are doing with this. A lot of people were still taking their left tackle and either doing what they call a shut off or a pull check, or still going cross field. What we did that's a little bit different, and this helped to control the 5 technique. We would pull him towards the bubble. And so now he's going to block number 2 from the sideline. Does he get him all the time? No. But if my ball carrier, the receiver catching the pass, if he has to cut back to the inside, he does have that right tackle there as a blocker. So just think about that. And what this does, it helps to control this 5 technique, because as I pull to the left, what's he reading that? He's reading that as a reach block. So this helps to control the area because why? You have no fullback fill here. Okay, so you know that helps our control there. We tell the split end, the man on the line of scrimmage, you're going to block who you think is the most dangerous man, probably number 1 from the sideline. The tackle is going to try to get number 2 from the sideline. Now I want to talk a little bit about the steps of the man catching the bubble, because I think this is something that is undercoached. And we're always going to have our inside foot up. Okay, so in this case, we're going to have our right foot up. And he is going to, left foot is back. And we're going to take a drop step with our left foot. We're going to cross over, gaining width with our right foot, gaining ground on the next step with our left foot. That's a karaoke. Okay, and I coached for 38 years and never knew what the hell karaoke was good for. crossover, kickback, crossover. What do you do? Nobody ever crosses over and kicks back in football. Well, we did it here. What's this fella has to do? Your twin, he's got to almost walk out there. He can't be running. And our aim point for the quarterback is to throw the bubble 1.5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It must be caught behind the line of scrimmage. Why? Because we have people downfield blocking. Okay, so he cannot be downfield catching this pass. The quarterback's going to be 5 yards deep. The left halfback or fullback, whoever you have as the dive back next to him, he's going to be at 4.5. He's going to be slightly ahead of the quarterback. His first step is crossover 90. So left foot, crossover 90, coming in front of the quarterback. The quarterback has made his decision already, for the most part, and I'll explain. Okay, he's made his decision based on numbers. If he feels that, the best thing for us, we have 6 men in the box here, so the best thing would be maybe to run buck sweep, then he would just whisper to this fella, you. That means he's going to hand him the ball. So this fella, the left halfback or fullback, whoever you have here as your sidecar, he can expect to get the handoff. If the quarterback feels we have a better chance throwing the bubble, he'll just whisper to him, me. Now, you can become me. If when the ball is snapped, something happens, this corner bails. And he says, oh, he was in a press position, but on the snap, the corner bailed. I'm still going to throw the bubble. The only person that really knows what's going on is the quarterback. Okay, he's going to make all the decisions. And if he decided he's going to hand off, he steps up and hands off, and he takes 2 shuffle steps and fakes the bubble. And you'll see my quarterback do this. And they have to do it all the time. And I see Aaron Rodgers doing this. He makes a handoff, and Aaron Rodgers is faking the bubble. He's doing a great job of faking a downfield pass. Now, if I were still coaching, and again, I haven't coached in 8 years, but we did this 13 or 14 years ago. If I were still coaching, I would have multiple patterns out here. And you'd say, how would you call that? Well, again, if you go to the Glazier Drive and you listen to my talk on our 3-step passing game, the 3-step passing game, we never called a play in the huddle. We would just call 90. And the receiver would determine the pattern once he got out there based on coverage. So let's say, for example, both of these fellas were lined up outside. The corner was off and he was outside, and the outside backer was head up on your man or to the outside. We would run 2 slants. And my receiver would hand signal to the quarterback. We would wiggle our inside hand that we're going to run slant. If this fella was in a press position, we might run a smash with and they were covered 2. He would run a smash with the flanker, the twin going over the top to the left. So, I would have multiple, I wouldn't tag it. We would call it at the line based on where the secondary coverage was aligned. Now, we can do this because why? My kids are used to doing it. Okay, we've done this for 20, 25 years, where we've made the hand signal at the line of scrimmage. The inside receiver would run a complementary pattern, and the quarterback was good with it. And then we had a bail. We bailed off the back side off of that. So that's all in the Glazier Drive. But we want to take these 2 shuffle steps. If we decided to make the handoff, we want to take the 2 shuffle steps because I want to be reading this strong safety. Because where you'll get a headache, and I'll show you a play that controls all of this. Where you'll get a headache is if they take the strong safety and they bring him down. Because if they bring that strong safety down as an extra man in the box, you can't account for him. Well, now I'll give you a pass play that accounts for him, and you'll kill him on this pass play. So you must have others, what I call stuff. You got to have other options because they can scheme you. you gotta figure the defense is doing good. Let's look at some plays here now, and you'll see this first one here. We get a real nice deal here, and there's no fake to the back. The back does all the faking. Here they had very poor angles, and we end up with a touchdown. And again, guys, these are all running down calls. This was a 1st and 10 call. I'd like to call this 1st and 10, 2nd and 5, 3rd and 3. Why? Because no matter which one we would run, we were successful. I don't think we were ever unsuccessful throwing the bubble, because we practice it the first thing every day when we go with the receivers. Now here.
Hey coach, remember we got some podcast listeners that are driving in their car, so maybe real quickly just tell them what formation you're in and what you're doing.
Right. Well, we're tight end wing to the right, twins to the left. And both of these first two plays, we did run the buck sweep because we had angles on everyone. This particular play, I thought we should have thrown the bubble. And you'll see us here, we have, from the back view, we ended up with angles on everybody, and we ended up going for a touchdown. You know, we're out there, and I'm saying, throw the bubble. And the quarterback runs buck sweep. And I called him over, and I said, why did you run buck sweep? He said, Coach, we had angles on everybody. Well, when I saw the film, you know, I'd be damned. We did have angles on everybody, and he said we had angles on everybody, and we had 2 guards to take care of the 2 other people. And so the player was correct. And you know, that was, again, so important to have trust in the quarterback. But it's buck sweep to one flank, the bubble to the other flank. That's what we're trying to accomplish. This play is not RPO, but with your indulgence, Rick, I have to show this because this is how you control the safeties. And in college, that was the most important thing we had to do, was to control the safety. Because if you let those safeties, you know, they were real guys. They wanted to be linebackers. The corners they don't wear knee pads anymore. They look like they got Bermuda shorts on out there. They don't want to tackle anybody. I'm not afraid of a corner tackling us. I'm afraid of that freaking safety coming downhill who's 6'1", 215, 220 and lighting up my back, because we can't block him. So to control this safety, this is what we would call buck sweep throwback. And this is why it's so important when we hand off on buck sweep for the quarterback to take the 2 slide steps, because he should be looking straight down the field and seeing what those safeties are doing. It shouldn't be a surprise to him if I call this play. He should have seen it already. So, you know, and again, I think this is true play action pass because we have tight end wing to the right, we have twins to the left, 2 backs in the backfield, a quarterback and a sidecar. This is true play action pass. Why? My tight end and my tackle are blocking down, gap down backer. They're doing what they do on buck sweep. My right guard is pulling at 135 and going to kick out. That's what he does on buck sweep. The halfback or fullback, whoever is going to be your faker, he's going to fake buck sweep. He's making it look like it's buck sweep. So that safety, that strong safety on that side, he is seeing buck sweep. You know, I laugh when I see pro football and they say, oh, this is play action pass. You know, the quarterback does a cursory fake in the backfield and the whole line stands up. They fake nothing. They fake no run play. But this is true play action pass, because what do I want? I want that safety to come downhill, because he came downhill with ram buck sweep. I want him to come downhill right now. So what we have on the back side, the inside twin, he is going to run through center field. The outside twin, who is on the line, the split end, he is going to run a dig. 10 yards vertical, 5 yards to the post, straight across. He'll be 15 yards deep. The right half, or the wing back here, in this case, he is going to fake like he's down blocking and continue to run a drag. And if you look straight down the field, I have a 3-level stretch down in the middle of the field. And that's what my quarterback is looking at. And here's one little nugget for you guys. Tell your quarterback when you have levels, always look deep first. Because if he looks deep, he can see everybody underneath him. If he's just looking at the wingback, you might have that inside twin running through center field wide open. He never sees him because he's only looking at the wingback. Now, why do we bring the wingback? Because I can only block 3 men on the backside with my center, my left guard, and left tackle. So should they bring 4 from the backside, I have to give my quarterback an out. And his out is the wingback dragging, because the wingback is replacing the 4th man coming on that side. So he knows if the 4th man is coming, he's got to do whatever he can to avoid that 4th man and get it to the wingback. Forget anything else. You got nothing, because you're going to get sacked if you don't. So that's why we run that wingback over there. And you must have control of linebackers in any passing attack. So he's going to take his shuffle steps, 2 shuffle steps, and then he's going to cross over left, right, and set up, and the quarterback will be at about 6.5 or 7 yards deep, lined up in the B gap to the play side, to the right side where you fake buck sweep, and he's going to throw it back. So, so there's all the rules for you, and Rick will have these up. And again, this is all in the Glazier drive system. So here's what the plays are going to look like. So this first play, my inside twin gets held up, and he doesn't do a great job clearing out through center field, but we still get the play. Okay, we still get the dig. And I love the dig because there's no other play in football. You throw the ball 20 yards to gain 15. To throw a 15-yard outcut, you got to have the ball in the air 40 yards. Now here they bring 4 to the backside. My quarterback avoids it, and he knows I have to throw it right now to that wing coming across. Now, the dig man was open. He's got no time to look for the dig. He sees him coming. He said, I've got to throw to that wing who has replaced the 2 blitzing backers. Here, the inside twin clears through center field, and he beats his man. The dig was also open, but we have a touchdown. And this is a play, guys, that you need. Twins gun, buck sweep throwback. Please go on the Glazier drive, and if you're going to want to run some of this, you have to be able to have this play. But always tell your quarterback, always look deep. Now we're going to do the same play from Tripp's gun. The only thing on the backside now, I only have 1 receiver, but this is a great way to isolate. And I had my last 4 years at Carnegie Mellon, I had the same quarterback, and his roommate was the split end. And boy, those kids were on page. And the split end now is a fighter pilot in the Air Force, and is a wonderful kid. And here's what we did a little bit different. On the backside here, we would tell him if he was backed off one-on-one, run a hitch. And usually we would get a cover 3 because why? And I gave him credit here. I rolled the strong safety down to the Trips flank to support that edge. If they don't roll it down, you'll see one team that didn't do that. We could have run this play forever. Now, if they press you on the backside, we would allow our split end to run a takeoff. Now, again, if I was still coaching, I would give him all the options. He could run a hitch, he could run a fade, he could run a slant, he could run a speed out, and he would hand signal to the quarterback. If we didn't do this, I would do this now if I was still coaching. And the split end would make the decision. But everything else basically remains the same. All your blocks are the same. The wings blocking down, gap down backer for your play side tackle and tight end. Guards are doing the same thing. Now, what you have a flanker. This could be your halfback, or we would have 2 split ends in the game. But that's the other thing. We ran multiple formations and multiple personnel groupings. So we would have you have a flanker out there, What that does is usually take away a support man. And you'll see that when I show you the video. But your flanker is going to block number one from the sideline. The strong safety is the man that we're going to have to kick out with the play side guard. And again, we have angles on everyone else. So, we'd have a very successful play here, and we would probably could run buck sweep to this flank. So, the left tackle here does not pull the way we did it when we had twins out there, because he's got to be more concerned, with that 5 technique. So we want him to cut the C-gap player, that 5 technique player, so we could throw the hitch out there if that's what the quarterback is going to determine to do. We want to look to the one receiver side first, one-on-one, throw the hitch or fade. And otherwise, if we have the buck sweep look, then we'll take the buck sweep. We're glad to do that. So this first particular play here, you'll see it from the back much better. But this team here, oh boy, I messed up there, Rick. 1 second here.
And Coach, let's make sure the podcast, so the formation, you've got a wide receiver on each side with a tight end and one running back to the side of the quarterback.
Right. We got.
Oh, you have tight end wing.
We have trips left. Tight end wing left, flanker outside of the wing. One receiver to the backside. And this, I always kind of giggle when I see this team. I mean, these teams play us year after year, and they don't even get lined up properly. I mean, they're still walking around there, and we're prepared to snap the ball.
They look very confused.
Both of these plays are first sound plays. We get up there, bang, we run it. We run the play. First sound, rig, and we run the play. And they're very confused, and they almost confuse our guys, because they're not lined up very well. And we just kind of giggle. Now, why does this happen? Because we have 2 split ends in the game. One's a flanker, one's a split end. Okay, we have 2 running backs in the game. So, it's a little bit different personnel grouping than they're used to seeing. So it's, it's just, but our guys stay on their tracks. We make a square cut, and we get a great run out of the deal. Now this next play is covered 2, and they do not support the trips flank. Okay, so it's a gimme out here. And if my backside guard had been just a tad quicker and blocked that safety, we'd have had a big one. But I'm complaining about a 10-yard gain. But they don't support the flank. They want to stay covered 2 against this look, and it's very difficult to do. Now this next play, they don't cover my split end. This is college football, and the quarterback sees it, the split end, they say, hey, nobody's covering me. So he catches the snap and throws it immediately. Everybody else is still running buck sweep. And you say, well, how would this happen? Because again, we have 2 split ends in the game. One's a split end, one's a flanker. So again, with all the personnel groups going in and out, the defense gets confused.
So your quarterback, coach, your quarterback always has the green light to just chuck it out there, even though you have buck sweep called.
Oh, this is an RPO. It's a run pass option. It's buck sweep to one side, and it's either hitch or take off to the other side. It's buck sweep, and what's crazy, Rick? We average something like some ridiculous number, like 7.9 yards on buck sweep and like 11.2 yards on bubble or hitch when we were doing this stuff, and they were always complete because we worked on it day after day after day in individual period. And I know when I do my Zoom calls for the Glazier people, don't ever cut yourself short on individual time. Don't ever cut yourself short. But he throws it out there. It's a touchdown. Yeah.
For you listeners, there literally is no corner guarding his split end. The split end is standing out there, all by himself, kind of like some of us on prom night. We're just all by ourselves. There's no corner out there at all. And this is college football. I see what you're saying, Coach, because the wing T guys think that we only have one receiver. So that's how they coach it all week. So they think, oh, there's the one receiver. They send their guy out. Everybody else loads the box. and you caught them with their pants down because you have basically two receivers on a receiver on each side.
Exactly. It's a pro formation. It's a pro formation. And, you know, we have so many different formations that we use, and we do get a lot of confusion on the defense because of this. And again, this is a team we play every year. So it's not like they've never seen this before. You know, they've seen it every year. And 1 year, I think we had 200 yards just running buck sweep against this team. My line coach is up in the booth. He says, Erd, we might not have to run another play, just change the formation. You know, and you know, so this became a real big thing for us. Now I want to look at the belly slide because we're going to be in the same exact formation. Okay, we got a tight end wing, we've got twins, and we got the quarterback and a sidecar in the backfield. Now I call this belly slide because we didn't cross block belly any much my last 12 or 15 years. We were much better off running the motion back across in what I called slide or Canadian motion. And we would snap the ball as soon as he got past the center. The quarterback would call the cadence, and this was on set. So this is not a first sound play. This is red set. So he would motion his hand to put the wing in motion, and wing would come across looking like jet sweep. Why? Because we run jet sweep from this formation. We run sprint out pass from this formation. So we bring him across. It looks like jet sweep all the time. We've always got somebody moving almost all the time. And whenever we're calling cadence, when we're running on first down, obviously there's nobody in motion. But here we're bringing the wing back. In this case, we are tight end wing left, split end slot right, sidecar to the right, and we're going to make the handoff in the B gap to the right. Because why? When we're under center at 4 yards depth, that's where the belly handoff occurs. So it's been a great play for us. Now, what is the quarterback looking at? Well, basically, what I've told him is if they got 7 in the box, throw the bubble. If they got 6, run belly slide. Why? Because we got more guys than they got. Okay, we got them outnumbered. We got 7. We have 7 to block, and they only got 6 defenders. But if there's any question, when in doubt, I always told them, when in doubt, give it out. We'll take our chance on belly slide, even if it's 7 on 7. Okay, we'll take our chance. But we want to be able to, again, take advantage of the bubble situation out here. So let's say I've shown a cover 3 look here to that twin side. So the safety's rolled down, the corner is deep. So my split end is going to block the strong safety. My twin runs the bubble. And again, it's a catch and throw by the quarterback. He does not fake the belly. The fullback will do the faking. We will execute what we call a whammy or a double team on this nose guard. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to knock him back. This is not the old down the line wing T double team. This is knock the snot out of that guy and block him back off the football. And that's what we're trying to accomplish. The fullback will take a little slide step towards the quarterback. So it's easier for the quarterback to make the handoff. The quarterback just crosses over. He's left foot over right. So he crosses over with his left foot to make the handoff. If he's going to throw the bubble, he's still got to cross over to get the ball going in that direction. So it all works out. It's all like one play, all like one look. And again, the rules are there, you know, and you see here the guard and the play side guard, in this instance, the right guard, we're tight end wing left, the right guard and the center, we call it whammy the 2 technique. Whammy him, man, knock the snot out of him. Knock him back into the linebacker. We want to knock him back so the backside linebacker cannot come over the top. I slide back and block the front side linebacker. And, you know, that's sort of what we've got going here. So it's been a great play for us here. The left halfback is in jet motion. He's going to slide sideways 2 steps in the A gap and get to the B gap when the ball is snapped. And again, the quarterback sees him coming across. When he gets to the center, he starts his slide. The quarterback goes, red, set. As soon as he hears red, he starts his slide. And he's set, boom, he's in the B gap, and we're on that linebacker. Now, I like this better than when we were trying to block the linebacker with the dive back, because my slide back is only 2 yards from the ball. The linebackers are 4 yards deep. So now my slide back is making the connection on the other side of the football, on the defensive side of the ball. So we'll take a couple looks at it here. And so right now, number 4 is not counted as in the box. Okay, but they still have 7 in the box. So now it's almost automatic bubble. And you can see how slow my receiver is out there. Just almost walking out there. Okay, the slide back is coming across. They got 7 in the box. So we're going to throw the bubble. And again, you see there was no fake by the quarterback. The fullback is doing all the faking. What was the down and distance? 1st and 10. Now here, again, this...
Hey, Coach, I'm sorry. Can you go back to that previous play?
Sure.
Who was number 4 for the podcast listeners? Was that the outside linebacker?
I'm sorry. I'm not understanding your question here.
Well, the previous slide, you just said number 4 is not in the box. You're talking about jersey number 4.
Jersey number 4. He's a corner to this side, to the tight end wing flank.
Right.
Okay?
So podcast listeners, he's talking about the corner that's on the tight end wing flank. He's kind of rolled up on the line of scrimmage where the tight end wing is. And Coach, you're not considering him in the box, or he is considered in the box?
No, we would not even look at him. Okay. The person we are most concerned with now is, I guess you'd call him the 9 technique, or on the split end twin side. Okay, he's in the box. So wherever that fella is, that's who we're looking at. Okay, so now my quarterback just comes up. I mean, right now they got 8 in the box almost, because that corner is rolled up right on my wing. Okay, so it's going to be difficult to run buck sweep to this flank with that man rolled up there. But my buck sweep throwback pass is going to be a big play for us here against this particular team. Okay,
but because you're running belly, your quarterback's concerned with that defensive end, the weak side defensive end that's on the weak side tackle, the right tackle in this case, because your tight end's on the left.
Exactly. Okay, so now when we start to play, he's looking right now. He says, "Gee, they got 7 in the box. They got 2 guys out there. They're both backed off. I have an easy throw to the inside twin." And watch how slow he walks there. Watch his steps. Watch the twin steps. Drop step, crossover. We're trying to, he's under control. He can't be going out there like a madman. He's under control. So this is, again, it just for us, it was an easy deal.
Was that because that outside linebacker safety who rolled up on your slot receiver, the number 2 receiver, because he apexed, because he was inside and the corner was way off? That corner was off 7 or 8 yards.
Exactly.
Would you give your quarterback some specific rules on when he's throwing the bubble, or is it just a gut feeling of it being open?
Well, it's a gut feeling, and again, it's where, I'm trying to pause this here for a second. Okay, it's where the outside linebacker is. Okay, that's his concern. Who can get? They get an extra man in that bubble, and he sees, like you said, they're backed off. The corner was backed off maybe 8 yards. Okay, so now we're going to block the most dangerous guy, and I have my slot catching the ball, and he's one-on-one. Maybe they make the tackle, maybe they don't. So if they make the tackle, I'm still going to gain 6 or 7 yards. And what was the play? 1st and 10. It could be 2nd and 10, because what am I trying to do? I'm trying to get half. I'm trying to get a 6-yard play out of this deal to make it 3rd and 4. I'm always trying to get to manageable.
For our podcast listeners, they didn't even block the corner. Coach just cracked the apex outside linebacker with the split end through the bubble, and the guy that caught the bubble was just one-on-one with the corner. The corner was 8 yards off. So, yeah, the corner made the tackle, but Coach gained 9 yards before he made the tackle.
So we're at 2nd and 1. Now here they only had 6 in the box. So again, it was an easy read for my quarterback. Okay, so now we got the double away, we got the lead block, and we got to have a nice play coming here.
So 6 in the box, thinking run the belly, 7 in the box, 8 in the box, throw the RPO.
Throw the bubble. Exactly.
Throw the bubble.
Exactly. I didn't try to make this like, advanced trigonometry either. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes we make it too hard. Sometimes we try to make football too hard. And I'm saying, just look what you see. Where we got the most guys, and I had a guy try to tell me about how to number people and everything. He said, you number anybody? I said, you know what? We don't got time to do that. We only got, 25 seconds or 40 seconds to snap the ball. And I'm not worried about, I'm less worried about their guys and more worried about my guys.
Coach, I'm glad you brought that up because you were not teaching at a college for dummies. Carnegie Mellon is kind of considered right on the level of MIT. I mean, the kids that you were coaching were highly intelligent, analytical, scientific type of kids. And yet you still felt like, hey, I don't need to overload their little brains with a bunch of rules.
Well, Rick, and again, I guess it was from coaching in high school. I coached at Pittsburgh Central Catholic for years, and that's a college prep school. Okay, so 95% of the kids went on to 4-year colleges. So I had smart kids there also. But, they got other things. They're trying to, get a kiss from their girlfriend on Friday night, after the game. I mean, they got other things in their brain, too. It's not like us. We're just worried about coaching football, And these kids I'm coaching at Carnegie Mellon, they got a lot of stuff in their brains because they got their classes. I couldn't even pronounce some of the classes they were taking. And
those kids took, you talk about advanced trigonometry. Those kids took trigonometry probably in 6th grade.
Yeah, they're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. I love those kids. I mean, they kept me young. They kept me sharp, because I'd say something to them. I said, boy, guys, we haven't practiced trap in a couple of weeks, but, we can run it. You think we can do it? They look at me like I insulted them. Say, what do you mean? We can't run trap. We run trap since the second day on campus here. So I insulted them. This next play you got to have, guys, because this is slide, bubble, go. And this is, you'll see if they bring an extra man in the box, you can't account for them. Okay, so if they have 7 or 8 in the box, you can't account for them. Now you gotta fake the belly. The quarterback. You'll see my quarterback does a little shoulder shrug. He has the bubble still out there as his outlet, and the spread end is going to run off like he's stalk blocking. He breaks down like he's going to block that corner, and then he takes off to the inside, staying away from the free safety. But everybody is blocking belly. I mean, they got to come off the ball. They got to make it look like it's belly. And but you got to have this play when they do this to you. And I know the podcast people out there in their cars can't see this, but what's going to happen here? They cover our twins pretty well. And then they're going to bring the free safety. When we start the slide motion, we're going to bring the free safety down as an extra man in the box. We can't account for him. So now we've got to run this play, slide, bubble, go. And you'll see my quarterback does a wonderful job here. We bring the motion back across. They bring that safety down. And now my bubble man goes out. And this is an important coaching point also, Rick. My quarterback throws the ball right to where the receiver is. He doesn't lay it out there for him. Because why? Well, he's wide open. So we would tell him, make him slow down and catch the ball. I'll take a 25-yard gain. I'm not greedy. Now, we end up making about a 40-yard gain out of this deal or more. Now, I want to pause this here for 1 second because on this next view, on this next view, what you said, oh, wow, we're screwed right now, okay? But I've called slide, bubble, go. So now here's how you must coach the go man up. This team, prior to the play we ran, the slide bubble, boy, they brought that safety down, and man, we said, boy, we got slide bubble go. The next time we do this, it's a touchdown. Well, they went 3 over 2, So they have 3 players over our twins. We're screwed right now. We cannot run it inside. So now my go man, who's my split end out there, he is going to go and fake block on the man covering him like he's breaking down, like we're going to throw the bubble. And then he's going to run an outside go, not inside, but a fade. Okay. And you can't run inside. They got all the guys in there. You're going to throw an interception. You covered yourself. Now, in both of these instances, if you don't have the go, what do you still have? You still have the bubble. Okay. Is it going to be a great play? No, it might be a 3 or 4 yarder, but you're still okay. So here's what happened. You'll see my quarterback make a great shoulder fake, and now we beat him up the sideline. And
now,
again,
Coach, they put their outside backer head up on number 2 now. The safety's like right behind him for you listeners. The corner rolled up on his number 1. So you can see this really tight triangle of defenders on his 2 receivers. So, Coach, was that a call from the sideline or is there some kind of signal? How did the quarterback and split in to know to run the double move, the go, and fake the stock block and run the double move go? How did the quarterback and split in know that?
It's not a call from the sideline. The split end knows he cannot run inside. He must run the fade. The quarterback sees it also. And again, like you said, the quarterback had like 1480 on the SAT. So, where am I going with that kid? So I was 980. What can I say? But, the quarterback says, boy, I hope he runs the fade. I hope he runs the kind of stop and go, whatever you want to call it. He goes and like you saw him go like he's stalking the number 1 on the sideline and then beats him outside. And the quarterback is saying, man, I sure hope he does this. If not, I know I have to throw the bubble and we're going to gain 3 yards. But if he does what I think he's going to do, we're going to gain 33 yards, which is about what we gained.
Now, Coach, defensively, that was an even front. There was only 6 in the box. It was basically a 4-2. The 2 DBs were still deep on your tight end side. Why not run the belly? It was only a 4-2 defense. Could they have still run the belly?
We could have done it. We could have checked to it. I checked to very few plays. We had declared that we were going to run slide bubble go because why? The first time we ran the slide bubble, boy, they brought the safeties down. We said, oh man, that's their plan. This team, and this is a team we scrimmaged in the preseason. This was a bowl game at the end of the year, but we scrimmaged them in the preseason. So we'd seen them do this, and we said, oh, that's their plan. We're going to have these suckers now, but then that wasn't their plan. They were kind of playing with us. So, you're correct there. We should have, we could have checked to the belly slide, and we could have checked to that, and it would have been fine. And did we do that? Yes. Do we do it often? No. And again, I thought doing all this RPO stuff, that was more than enough with the time we had allotted. We also had brilliant kids, but we could only practice an hour and 40 minutes every day. That was it. That included warm-up, stretch, pre-practice. Most of our practices were about 90 minutes long, which is plenty of time, but you still got a lot to accomplish. You got to get your kicking game in and all your specialty stuff in it as well.
Coach, now, you said check down to the belly. So was it a call that the quarterback made, like, hey, audible to the belly, audible to the bubble?
Yes. No audible to the bubble. The play is called slide bubble go. Okay. So, he would just come up and he'd say, check slide. That means we're going to run belly slide.
Okay.
So now we're going to go to slide bubble, not slide bubble go. Slide bubble go is not an RPO. This is a called play based on what the defense had done before.
So he's pre-snap reading the defense, and he could check to the belly, which you're calling slide, or he could check to the bubble.
Correct.
Awesome. Great stuff.
I want to get to a couple under center RPOs before we run out of time here. But, we run this formation, Rick, so often. This is what I call friends. we have two split ends in the game. It's trips right. We have one split end on the line of scrimmage. The other split end is a flanker, and he's off the line of scrimmage. And we have a slot to that side. And we have tight end to the left. So we have a three-man surface to the left, and we have the right guard, right tackle, slot, split end on the line, flanker off the line. I'm trying to describe everything here. One back in the backfield. This is a typical spread, spread teams are doing this all the time, this formation. If we wanted to say friends spread, then we would just spread out the tight end. So now we would have width on both sides. Okay, so it gave us a lot of options passing wise. Now we needed some runs off of this, and since we were, for the spread teams that are doing this stuff, they just run zone, inside zone, outside zone with this look. Well, we started doing this, and we ran friends give. So it was give or a bubble to the slot with our two split ends out there, one on the line and the flanker off the line, blocking the two most dangerous receivers, the two most dangerous defensive players. And again, the quarterback just had to have a feel for what he was going to do, either give the ball or not. Now, if he came up and decided he wanted to give the ball, then if you see here, if the defender over the play side wing, if he was outside, we would give the ball to the fullback because why? We had six guys to block. So he would tap his butt that he was going to give the ball to the fullback. Now he could tap his butt and on the snap, maybe decide not to give it to the fullback and still throw the bubble. But the bubble steps for that slot were exactly the same as if he was a slot or if he was a twin. Okay, so it's the same steps.
Coach, how are you accounting for that play side inside backer? You've got the center and guard double the nose, the one tech nose, and your right tackle's blocking out on the five tech. Who's accounting for that play side backer if you just give the ball to the fullback in that B gap?
The double team. The double team is going to come off the nose. Okay, it's a zone technique. I hate to use that word zone because we're not a zone team. Okay, but we're gonna, the center's going to get a right shoulder. The right guard's going to get a left shoulder. We're going to knock him back into that backer and come off on the backer. The guard will probably come off on the backer. And again, this is a running down call. So I ran this a lot on 3rd and 3, okay, because I figured we can gain 3 yards. The fullback, this is when we were running a lot of, we were running this back when we were running a lot of triple option. Okay, we're not running that anymore, but we were running this angle for the fullback. So he's crossing over and, aims for the hip of the guard. And, we just hit it up in there trying to gain 3, 4, 5 yards. This is not a touchdown play. This is a running down call. 1st and 10, 2nd and 5, 3rd and 3. It's a running down call. 3rd and 2, and you'll see a couple of calls like that. But now the quarterback kicks out at 45, puts the ball in the fullback's gut if he's going to give it to him, takes a step back and fakes the bubble. Or he kicks out, sticks the ball out real quick, not a ride. Fullback hits it up in there and he throws bubble. So it's a quick hitting play. And it just depends on, where this outside linebacker is. This fella right here, okay? If he's outside, we're probably going to give it. If he comes inside, head up on this guy, we're going to throw the bubble. Okay, so it just depends where this fella here is. So let's take a couple looks at it and see what we have. And it's just so apparent, and it was just so easy. And all this is almost like it's a sweep. It looks like a toss sweep. So right here, they're bringing that backer. We know there's nobody out there. The quarterback sees it right now.
So kind of fake the inside veer and get it to that wing who's in the trips. Coaches, he's in trips, but it's a wing. And then the two receivers out there. It's not your true trips that you see. It's a wing with two receivers to make the trips formation.
with the slot with two receivers outside of the slot. Correct.
So you could see the defense. I could see the defense just kind of ignoring the slot. They kind of think he's just there to block.
Yep. Now you're going to see this one here coming up right here. This was a 3rd down and 2, and we're trying to ice the game. And boy, if we'd have thrown the bubble, it was a touchdown. But we needed 2 yards to ice the game. So we ran the fullback in. I had a great fullback. This kid led the conference in rushing 2 years. Watch this great block by my left tackle. They pinch, he takes him down, and the fullback just runs right through that backer. But we only needed 2 yards, yard and a half, 2 yards.
Hit it hard, get a yard.
Exactly. Now this, I want to go down here. This play here, I'm not even sure what the rules are anymore, but I think this is an illegal crack. But back when we ran it, this was legal. But you're going to see right here, let me pause this right here. I mean, this is a gimme. They got 2 over our 3. Okay, this is stealing. So
and the outside backer is not even guarding number 2. He's on your slot. So your number 2 receiver is in great crack position.
Watch what happens too. Like I said, I don't even think you're allowed to do this anymore, and you probably shouldn't be allowed to do it. But this is, like I said, I should have been arrested for stealing on this play. But here's what happens.
Yeah, so the number 2 receiver in the trips cracks the outside linebacker who's not even out on the trips. The corners just stock blocked by number 1. You throw you got the wing or the slot on the bubble, and there's nobody left.
Nobody left, and you're diving the fullback at that play side backer. So he's frozen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and again, this is where I was going with all of this. I ran out of years. That's all I did. But boy, my brain is still working, And the last thing I want to talk about here is the Wham, because I think this is a play that every team should have. And I don't know if you're running any Wham, Rick, but this is a great play against a 4-2 team or against a 50 front team, 3-4 team. And the first time I put this, I ran it in high school years ago and didn't run it for probably 20 years. We were playing Grove City. Had a great nose guard the year before. He must have made 15 tackles, and he was a man. So I had a wing back who was about 6'1", 215. He was a high school tight end. I made him a wing back, and this kid would knock the snot out of anybody. So we would still line up in that French formation. Now we bring the wing in motion, and we trap the nose guard outside in. The center avoids the nose and goes to one backer. The play side guard avoids the nose and blocks the other backer. And this guy's just sitting there. He's sitting there out on an island.
Coaches, it's a real short motion. He's just sliding the guy's sliding only 2 or 3 steps because they're trapping the nose guard who's on the wing side, because the tight end is opposite. So the 3-tech, they've set the 3-tech to the tight end side. Coach, we have done this because I've always felt like nose guards never work in practice on how to wrong shoulder traps. And really, they never practice getting trapped by a wing who's coming in motion, right? They're used to being trapped by guards. Exactly.
And we ran this the first time we ran it, and boy, maybe the second play of the game, and we lit this nose guard up. And he looked like the Gophers in that Bill Murray movie, that golf movie. As soon as the ball was snapped, the first thing he did was raise his head up to see who was coming. And every time he could see the motion man coming across, he could still see him out of his peripheral vision. But boy, we negated him. He made one tackle. He was useless. And boy, we had our way with him that way. But this was a great play for us. But what people started doing to us was this. When we would bring the slot in motion to trap the nose, they started bringing this backer in with him. You see what I'm saying?
Bringing that outside backer. Yeah, bring him back into the box.
Outside backer who, they brought him in with them. So now that's an extra guy. You can't account for him. Okay, so that's when we put in the RPO off of it with the bubble out here. Because as soon as they start bringing him in, now that left my inside receiver, the man on the line, to block the most dangerous receiver. The outside receiver runs the inside bubble. So it was a very easy throw and catch for the quarterback because why? He's coming towards him. Okay, so it's an easy throw and catch. So now,
coaches, what happened, you listeners, is the outside backer comes inside the box with the motion guy. He's got his number 2 guy in the trips on the line of scrimmage. There's nobody on him, so he just takes care of the corner, who's the only guy left out there, and the most outside receiver, number 1 receiver, is running what they call, some guys call it a hot screen, a now screen. That he just takes 1 or 2 steps inside the quarterback, catches the ball, and follows that number 2 guy who's now stalking the corner, since the outside linebackers came in the box, and he's going to be frozen with the play action fake to the dive back because he coaches diving behind the right guard, behind the play side guard.
Exactly. The fullback takes a lateral step. We used to call it quick belly back in the old days when we were running belly option. We took quick belly steps. So the fullback takes a lateral step and aims for the crack of the guard's tail end, and he's hitting it right up in there. And it's a fast hitting play. It's a north and south play, and it just it's been So I added it my last year. I added this RPO off of it because that's what people were doing. They were following our slot in the box, so they had an extra guy. We couldn't account for him, and it was causing us a headache. We couldn't run the play, and it was too good a play not to run. Now the other thing is if you've got the play called, and for whatever reason, they reduce the front, they shift the line, and they bring the nose to a 3 technique. Okay. Now, no matter what happens, you got to throw the bubble because you can't wham a 3 technique. You don't have enough people it's a big mess in there. So we would automatically throw the bubble. So this is kind of what it looks like. Now, this first play is the way. This was years ago, the first few times we were running Wham. So you'll see the slot come inside and trap the nose, and the fullback just goes, it's a straight ahead play.
Coaches, that wing back in motion absolutely demolished that nose guard. And coach, that's not a big wing back. That nose guard's a big boy.
He's a tough kid. He was a tough kid. That was Chris Garcia, boy. He was as tough as they came right there, that kid.
So Chris Garcia, right? An IBM, right? He's an IBM kid, itty bitty Mexican.
He probably is. I don't know. He was a smart kid. I know that. Okay, now here's here's it coming. You'll see the fella come inside there. Now the 5 technique slanted inside, so my fullback sees that and bounces it outside. But I still had my twins out there to block for him. So we want to trap the nose, which we do, but with the slant of the tackle, it kind of screwed us up there.
But your right tackle made a good decision when that 5 tech slanted inside. Your tackle just washed it down.
Exactly. Now watch here. You see him start cheating that wing in. That outside backer in. So now this is an easy throw and catch out here. Easy throw and catch. We see him moving in a little bit. So we just an easy throw and catch.
At what point is the quarterback making that decision? During the motion, he's seeing what that number that the apex outside linebacker is doing?
Yes. Now here, 3rd down and 3 call. This is a running down call again. 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. They have a 3 technique to our side. You see it here?
Yep.
Yeah, no good. The play's off. We got to throw the bubble, whether we want to or not. We got to throw the bubble because the play won't work. The running play is off. So we have to throw the bubble in that instant. That's why I put that on there. So everybody,
and your quarterback's got to recognize that. So the coaching sequence is on the motion, read what the trips defender does. But hey, pre-snap, if they run an underfront with a 3 tech weak, then you have no choice. Throw the RPO bubble.
You got to throw the bubble. I just have a couple more videos I want to show you here. This is what Carnegie Mellon is doing now. And I want to show you how easy they're going to put the RPO in off of this. I've been talking to them for I don't know how many years to do this, and now they're going to do it, okay? Because it's stealing. Again, we should be arrested. But you're going to see the wing come in and trap that nose.
And shout out to Rick Stewart there, coach. That was out of pistol, so I love it.
Oh, they're in pistol. They're almost exclusively in pistol now. Okay, but they still they're tight end wings sometimes, But watch this. I recruited that kid. He was my freshman fullback my last year, and they moved him to. He was like an H back for them, slot H back type of guy.
And they're trapping. That was a. If I was right, that was a 4-0-4 front. So you were trapping a true zero tech head up nose guard.
Yep. Now look at how easy would be the bubble out here. Would this be stealing out here or what? This would be so easy, and it's.
Oh my God! There's nobody on number 2.
Nobody on number 2. It would be stealing. Okay. The person on number 2 is my heavens. He's 15 yards deep. So like I said, they're going to do this. You know, if the right guy gets the head coaching job next year, they're going to do it next year. Okay, so now they do have a tight end in there. Now, the only thing you got to coach up, and they didn't coach him up here. If the center tries to block the backer to the left, and if the nose guard goes with him, then the Wham back should go vertical and block the play side backer. Just have the center take the nose. But this would be stealing. Like right there, they didn't have to throw the bubble because they had 3/2.
So let me recap that, coach. So the nose guard, if he's not going to come upfield to be trapped, he's going to wash because the center's stepping left to go get that backside inside linebacker. If the nose guard mirror steps with him, then the center just go and lock up on him. And the motion guy who's supposed to trap that nose guard, you insert up and get the backer. You just exchange the blocks.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
Did I say that right? Okay.
You said it perfect. Exactly. Okay, but you see what I'm saying here? How now you can run it from pistol, you can run it from anything. Okay,
yep.
And this is again, Rick. You know, we ran some pistol. I'm going to do a little talk sometime for the Glazier people on the rocket stuff. We were doing rocket sweep, the orbit motion, rocket sweep
yep.
out of pistol. And, you know, I would have run this Wham play with the RPO out there. This is where I was going with all of this when like I said, I ran out of years.
You were.
But, this is so much fun. And it just, you know, you can dictate to the defense. You know, you're in charge. They're not dictating to you. You're dictating to them. And, you know, like you so astutely looked when I went friends and kept the tight end in. Well, now I forced them to have a 3 and a 9 technique to that tight end side. Okay. So then I had the one technique where I wanted them to wham them. Okay.
Yeah, coach, people ask me all the time, you know, a lot of the spread guys, if I've got them to come over from the dark side and run wing T because they say, oh, you're in pistol and you got 4 receivers with 2 slots. And then they want to run everything out 10 personnel. I said, that's fine and dandy, but man, it's really powerful when you have a tight end now and then, because I don't know how you felt, coach, but I felt like with my tight end, I could kind of dictate the fronts and manipulate where the 3 tech was going to be. Because with a tight end, they almost have to shade the 2 D tackles, whether they want to shade away or 2. I mean, I don't know how you felt with the tight end. Even if I didn't have a tight end, I took a 3rd string tackle, gave him an 80 jersey, and I lied to him and said we were going to throw him the ball.
Sure, absolutely. We did it many times, and that's the beauty to me, Rick, of this offense. You know, and why I loved it for so many years. You know, you can emphasize who you want to emphasize. I did it with the greatest pure passer of all time with Dan Marino. But boy, you should have seen him run and waggle and counter boot. Okay, he ran for about 800 yards his senior year.
Coach, back up. I didn't realize that. They have said that multiple times on different message boards, even on TV, that Dan Marino ran the wing T in high school. I didn't even connect the dots. Dan Marino ran the wing T in high school because you were his coach.
Well, we were let me tell you what I had to do. Okay, the fella before us got fired running a wing T. So when they said, "What do you run?" I said, "We run the slot I." So we lined up in the I formation, but we ran wing T blocking rules. Okay, I mean power is power. You know, I mean it's power blocking rules is the same wing T or I formation, whatever. Okay. We would run buck sweep, except now the fullback would hit and we'd pitch the ball to the I back. Okay, so I mean it was all the same. It was the same. It was mirrors, you know, and we ran counter boot. You know, we just mirrors. And so now our goal line offense, and you're going to laugh at this, was full house T. We ran buck sweep to both flanks, belly to both flanks, waggle to both flanks, and belly keep pass to both flanks. Okay.
So in your tombstone, it's going to say Coach Erdelyi, the man who made Dan Marino run wing T in high school.
Well, his agent was, I think, Lee Steinberger's son, whatever his agent. Marvin Demoff was his agent. And first time I met him, he said, "Oh yeah, you were the smart high school coach that ran the wing T with Marino." You know, I said, well, we won a lot of games. You know, I thought that was the object, was to win the game.
Was to win games. Hey, you know what? Brett Farr ran the triple option. Rich Gannon ran the wing T. We could go on and on. Hey, Coach, we got to wrap this up. Coaches, this was awesome. If they want more, Coach, how do they reach out to you? Just they find you on the drive? Is that the easiest way to get a hold of you?
Absolutely, on the Glazier Drive, okay, and they have a forum on there. If they email that Glazier Drive on the forum, I get an alert that someone's trying to get a hold of me, and I will answer your questions ASAP. I do a Zoom call every Monday at 4:00. And I'd love to have you on there. Yesterday, we had 6 or 7 guys on there, some great questions yesterday. Next Monday, they want me to talk about attacking the 3-4 defense. And so we're going to do attacking different defenses. And so I do that every Monday at 4:00 Eastern time. So, you know, please jump on there through the Glazier Drive and that's the best thing, really. I think the Glazier Drive, they did a wonderful thing for coaches, I think they have 22 or 26 systems now on the drive. My particular system has 22 presentations, each between 30 minutes and an hour. And I gave it all to you. So,
and then if they want to see you in person, if you're an old fart like me that still likes to go out and drink a beer with the fellas, what cities are you speaking in this year?
I'm going to be in Minneapolis February 11th to the 13th, and I'm going to be in Atlantic City March 3rd to 5th. And awesome. I'm going to be doing five talks at each one. And,
awesome.
You know, I stick around as long as there's one guy standing. I stick around. You know, so I'll work with you and whatever I can do to help. I'm trying to pay it forward. This is what I'm trying to do, and doing all these podcasts and Zoom calls, and I'm having fun doing it. I mean, I look forward to this. I'm a retired guy. I play golf on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and work on football Tuesday and Thursday.
There you go.
So I'm trying to pay it forward. But,
living the dream. So, coaches, you can find Coach Erdelyi on the Glazier Drive. There's a forum where you can ask questions. He does his Zoom calls on Mondays. If you want to go see him in person, he'll be in Minnesota and Atlantic City. And coaches, I know the podcast guys may not have understood all the presentations. Coach will share the PowerPoint. It'll be in the show notes. So wherever you find this podcast, you can download some of these drawings and stuff that he had up, so that it kind of goes with the podcast. We'll make sure those are all downloadable with links. Coaches, if you want to find all this, Coach's presentation will be on the All Access YouTube channel. It'll be on the allaccesscoaching.com website with the downloadable link. We'll also have on the Glazier Clinics YouTube channel, and then our friend Alan Means, who schedules all of us for clinics, he'll get it up on the Glazier Drive, I'm sure, also. So there are YouTube, All Access Coaching, and Glazier Drive. You guys can go back and find this talk with the downloadable notes. Again, this was brought to you by Rack Performance. If this was your first time listening to our podcast, make sure you subscribe, as we do 3 of these podcasts every week. They're always free. Every Monday, we interview a coach or partner from the Glazier Drive family, which is Coach Erdelyi falls in that category. Every Thursday, I interview the coaches from my All Access coaching family, which is Roger Holmes and Jeff Steinberg and some of the guys that are on the All Access coaching website. We've got our 15 to 17 systems also. And then on Sunday nights, it's just me rambling. If you just want to hear Rick Stewart talk about program building, Wingt 425 defense strength training, I do those podcasts every Sunday night. The podcasts and downloads are always free. You can find them at Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, and everywhere else podcasts are found. There's also tons of free PowerPoints, PDFs, webinars at both the Glazier Drive and the allaccesscoaching.com websites. Make sure you follow us on the Coach Rick Stewart Twitter account, the Coach Rick Stewart Facebook page, and the All Access Coaching YouTube channel, where we upload 3 videos every week. Again, Coach Erdelyi, myself, the guys at Glazier, it's all about paying it forward and helping coaches. Yeah, some of the things we charge for, obviously Glazier's got to charge you guys a couple bucks to be on the drive. I've got to charge you a couple bucks for a video or playbook. But we also want to make sure there's lots of free content out there, because 20, 30, 40 years ago, there was the generation of coaches who helped myself and helped Coach Erdelyi. And now we're at a point where our career where we can also contribute. But I want to emphasize, the day you think you know everything and you stop learning, get out of coaching. I'm sure Coach will echo, we're always learning, no matter what point. I'm sure in 43rd, 44th, 44th, 45th year of Coach's career, he was still learning and picking up cool things from other coaches. You're always learning in this great game. Don't you agree, Coach?
Rick, you're going to laugh. My wife will come in my office here sometime, and I'll be on a computer, and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "There's this guy in Texas, boy. He's doing a hell of a job running jet sweep. I'm just seeing the way he's blocking it away." She says, "You're retired." I said, "Yeah, but maybe when I go to heaven, Bear Bryant's going to want to learn how to run the jet sweep, but I'll be the guy." So
I come home from clinics and I'm still old school. I want to have the book in my hand, the DVD in my hand, and she's like, "You've been coaching for 32 years. Why do you keep buying books and videos?" I go, "Because I want to figure it out. I want to learn something new today." Hey, learning's fun, right? In any industry in life, it's always about learning a new concept, a new idea, meeting a new friend, making a new relationship. I just think that's really cool.
You know what I call them, Rick? I call them nuggets. I just went to a clinic. I just wanted to get a nugget. I didn't need the whole philosophy. I knew what I wanted to do, but I was looking for a nugget. And it could have been a high school guy I went and listened to from Georgia, and I bought his DVD and about how he communicated his no huddle. And boy, it was a great thing. You learn from everybody. That's what I found.
Well, Coach, you gave a lot of great nuggets today. I took a bunch of pages of notes here with my I was writing frantically, so this was awesome. Coach, it's probably time to hit the golf course for you out there in Florida. We're going to wrap this up. All you coaches out there, if you were listening in your car or working out the gym, or maybe you were watching this on our YouTube channel, we really appreciate you taking an hour out of your day to listen to Coach Erdelyi talk about RPOs before they were called RPOs. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.